Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Back. Yes. We
Very happy to have you here.
super happy. I am waking up, but I am ready for this episode.
You're super ready because you just hopped off the couch where you watched the second episode.
Yeah, I did. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it's so interesting watching the shows and like really paying attention to like the writing and the scenes.
Uh-huh.
And this episode is just so good. They're like jam-packed, full of action, you know? Like they're just, and this one just does not quit. And I loved every second of it.
I kept making notes and having to pause because otherwise I would just miss it.
Yeah, no, I was wondering about that because like I can't just let it keep going because I'm like, oh
No.
shit, I need to like, this scene is so
Pause,
good.
write it down, and then continue.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I think that's why I got kind of tired in the end, and I was like, shit, we need to like record like now. So I was like, Liz probably has a bunch of notes. It's fine.
You'll get a refresher once we're talking about it.
Yeah, actually, I like there's so many little things that I added in my notes specifically about like the actors and stuff, and like,
oh, nice.
I think every other line was, I am in love with Jim. Every line was, I am in love with Jim. Oh, okay. So just so you guys know, we are continuing our Flag Means Death series, season 1. And this is episode 2.
Whoa! I forgot to search what the name was for episode 2.
Let's do it. Search it up. Because I don't remember. I just called this episode 2.
I was like, I need to look this up before we record, but then
you forgot.
Didn't.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's called A Damned Man. So welcome to episode called A Damned Man.
A damned man.
A damned man. Well, everyone already knew it because we name our episodes to the names of the
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
episodes. Well, it's like you're like copying what you're saying actually, but
yeah,
it's not. It's like doubling up.
Yeah.
But it means different things.
All right, guys, are we ready to hop in?
We are.
We left off last episode.
Yeah.
It was very, very wholesome. It was a sweet little ending. And then we found out that Jim is wearing a disguise. So those were the two key things. Like it was Stede
reading them at night.
Yeah. Stede was reading to them at night. You see that as a crew, they're kind of getting closer a little bit. And then that big secret of Jim wearing a disguise. So then this episode starts off on...
It starts with a banger with Frenchmen on a ship.
Yep.
And they walk around with a baguette.
Yeah.
And they're saying, finally, the entire world will have access to good bread.
Really good bread. Clink.
Really good bread. They break the baguette and toast each other.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, right before that happens, he's like, one day... France will rule the globe, and his like little guy that's walking around is like, yes.
It's about me. Yeah. But then they look through their glass and then they see Blackbeard's flag. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And they're all like, Blackbeard, and people just throw themselves overboard.
I think it's really funny.
So dramatic.
Yeah. And everybody's in a panic, and Blackbeard is walking up, and he has like no face. He's just like
it's just smoke
and red eyes.
Yeah.
And so it's like just like a scary, menacing smoke beard and glowing red eyes. And then we realize,
oh sorry.
No, you go.
No, I said Blackbeard looks fire, but now I'm realizing it's like double.
It is, but he does. He looks hella creepy, and they do a good job of like the makeup or the SFX.
Yeah,
and then we realize that Black Pete is telling the story, and I kind of want to use the audio in this part because it's so funny. Because he's like, just the conversation between him and Stede is so hilarious. Because Stede's like, wait, so Blackbeard's head is just made of smoke?
But he has eyes. Where is...
Are his eyes floating? And he's
like, no, they're not floating. They're just regular eyes.
We have to play that. And I just want to add here that like his New Zealand accent, the actor, I'm probably gonna butcher his name.
Rice Darby?
Rice Darby, yeah. His New Zealand accent is so cute. Like I died during the scene because he's just like, so they're floating.
Yeah. I also love how Stede is just immediately infatuated with Blackbeard.
I know.
And the rest of the crew is just like,
Well, yeah, and he like totally believes Black Pete. He's like enthralled. He's like, oh my god, like you really.
Wait, he did that?
And he's just like obsessed.
I love it. And also when Pete is telling it, you see him cutting the necks of two Frenchmen.
Okay, I have a little note here.
Oh, nice.
I was like, it reminds me of the Addams Family. Have you ever seen the first Addams Family where like
yeah, absolutely.
Wednesday's neck gets cut.
Oh yeah,
and then
the
play and it sprays all over the audience. Like that's all it reminded me of. I just got a big picture of Wednesday Addams' throat just like blood everywhere,
squirting all over the place.
But that's what it looks like.
Onto the first row, and then the family just claps.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's like what I had.
I love that so
in my head.
Nice.
So yeah, Black Pete is like really hyping himself up with his relationship with Blackbeard, and he's like saying how like Blackbeard was like so happy he had him on his team, and he's like, from this day onward, you will be known as the Dread Black Pete, my right hand man. And Stede,
and then Roach is like, we're not calling you Dread Black Pete.
But I just love because Stede's like, oh wow, imagine that. He's just so enthralled. He's so cute. But the crew is definitely not having it.
No, they're not.
And then all of a sudden Oluwanda is like, who's steering the ship?
Yeah. Because Buttons walked up on them to listen. Yeah. And then they're telling Stede that it wasn't all true what Pete was saying. And Buttons was saying, I was with him until the flip. But I think he means because you see Pete do this flip onto the deck. And I think that's where he was like, this sounds fake to me.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no one was steering the ship. And then all of a sudden, crash.
Yeah.
So that's like end of scene 1.
And then we have the cool ass intro title thingy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love all those things. Like they're so creative with their beginning titles.
Oh yeah, I like how every single one is like a little different. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like The Simpsons. How like I forget what Andrew, my husband, he like knows what the name is like when they change that in the intro. But I don't know if you ever watched The Simpsons.
Do you also mean where Bart writes on the chalkboard and that's always different?
No, it's like that's all the same most of the time. But then when they sit on the couch, there's always something different. Like they'll turn into like aliens, or it's like it's just something silly. It's like a gag. But with this, it's like they get really creative with like the title scenes, and that's fun.
Yeah, and it has something to do with the episode because here we have a strand. Sorry, a beach.
They're stranded on a beach.
No, the Dutch word for beach is strand. So.
Strand. Oh yeah, strand. But they are kind of stranded on a beach, so it'll work.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, scene 2, they're trying to figure out what to do with the boat.
And Stede's trying to push the boat into the sea again.
Yeah. And Button's first suggestion is just like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna have to start eating each other. And he's like, well, we can start with Lucius because he's young and succulent.
Yeah. Like, why does your mind immediately go to that?
I know, and then Steve's like, we don't have to do that until it's like absolutely necessary, and you can just see
absolutely necessary.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. But you could tell he was just like he really wants to just eat Lucius.
Yeah. Like it's so funny. He has some more cannibalistic tendencies throughout the show.
Yeah. So Buttons keeps going on, and then he walks away, and Stede is like pushing the boat, and he's like having a hard time.
Please move.
Yeah, he's like pleading with it, and this is where we kind of start to see that Stede is struggling with something, and then he starts saying his bestie Nigel.
His bestie.
So Captain Nigel is like, I'm just gonna call him Nigel. Nigel's like pestering him, like taunting him, like calling him Baby Bonnet.
Nigel.
But he's dead. He's like a ghost or something, and like
but he's still being a bitch.
Yeah, and he's got like the sword through his eye still, and like I don't know if we could use the audio here, but my favorite is like he's like, little Baby Bonnet broke his little baby boat on the big bad beach, and then he's like, fat ass. And Stede's just like, I'm not fat.
I'm fat. Yeah.
I'm not even fat.
And then at the end, Stede comes back to, well, at least I'm alive.
Yeah.
And that shuts him up for a minute.
the banter.
And I also love, I think that it's later on, but when he kind of like throws up blood.
Oh yeah.
And he's looking at him real serious. Like,
yeah, no, it's so funny that like they have, I just think that's really cute whenever a ghost shows up or something like that. And even if it's just like a figment of someone's imagination, it's just so interesting to me. And like it really shows like he's got guilt of some kind harboring inside of him. And like, sure, I guess maybe it was like his first murder, so he feels guilty about that. But the way that it plays out,
murder with quotation marks.
Well, like let's be real. Like it was an accidental murder,
manslaughter.
Yeah. So then we go into the next scene where Stede is talking to the crew.
Yeah, and he's like, well, let's make this a vacation.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's a vacation?
He's like, just,
and I just can't believe that they don't know what a vacation is.
Yeah, no, and like the whole joke about like just everything about vacations and all the things that they're doing during this, it's just hilarious. So Stede is trying to convince them to use this time as a vacation, and they're like, what the fuck? What is this? And like while he's talking, they're talking about like eating each other again, and like Lucius, Buttons is like staring at Lucius like, you're first, you know?
Yeah, Lucius is like kind of like looking back at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And I just have to say that John, aka Christian Nairn, looks so badass as a pirate. Like his character, it's just like he as a person is meant to be a pirate. Like that's my conclusion of this. So Stede is explaining what a vacation is, and like it's to rest their bodies. And then off in the distance he just sees Nigel like with a sword in his eye.
You see him just standing there throughout the scene, and he's flipping him off. Yeah.
And he's like, as well as our minds.
Yeah, and Roach asks if he can torture the hostages.
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, you cannot do that.
Yeah, that's like my unhinged Roach moment, because he's like, nice. Can my vacation be torturing the hostages? And then he like holds up the bat with like nails in it. I'm like, okay, Roach. And then the other thing is like the Swede is so funny. He's like, what's the punishment if we don't do it? Like the vacation?
And there's no punishment. Yeah. And when he asks for the torture, Stede says, let's say no to torture, I think, for now.
Yeah.
Let's just air them out. They are smelling a bit.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, after that, Blackbeard comes up and he's like, why not bake them a pie and give them back rubs?
Yeah.
And then he's
like, oh, can we do that?
And he's like, he goes, would Blackbeard also do that? And then he's like, no. And then he's like, well, what would Blackbeard do? And he's like, he'd stick hot pokers up their assholes.
And then I think it's John and Roach who are looking at him like, yeah, can we do that? Can we do that?
They're so cute.
They're just so excited about it. I also love how when he just says like, do what you want, Lucius just yeets the journal on the ground and walks away.
I have that in my notes too. He's just like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, fuck this amount.
Bye. It's another one of those like very like moments, because he's just like, I can't with this whole thing.
Yeah, you can see River, but I'm doing a little like hand flipping moment.
I'm doing a flip moment. It's
the national gesture
for gay.
Yeah,
he did a gay moment and he was like, fuck this, and then he walked away.
He walked away.
And then the next scene is Jim and Oluwanda are with Stede and Oluwande, sorry. I'm just gonna call him Olu because that's what Stede calls him, and I don't want to fuck up his name the entire time. Okay. So Olu and Jim are talking to him about like his guilt. Like he's like, how do I deal with this? And then Jim gestures with their finger like across their neck.
Yeah.
And Stede is like, what is he saying? And he's like, oh, I guess, like interpreting it, but it's like not what he means at all. And like, or not what they mean at all. And he's like, yeah, I guess like when you kill someone, you die too.
Yeah. I didn't see a reaction on Jim though. It didn't look like he was wrong or anything.
No. But I just think that like they're in sync. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really cute that he like took that gesture and was like making it like something really meaningful. Mm-hmm. I think Jim was just trying to be like, you're gonna die or something like that. And then I love Jim next to it because Jim is just so cute.
I love that so much. I also love how Steve's just being kind to the hostages and they're still smiling back and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're just having a normal chat and not if they're torturing, if they're gonna be tortured or anything.
Yeah. And then during that conversation in this scene, you see Wee John and the Swede. They're in the distance, and they're like, Wee John is like punching him in the gut, and then Stede's like, "What are you guys doing?" And he's like, "We're doing
vacations."
We're doing vacations.
Yeah. And then Oluwande and Jim are talking, and Jim's like, "Oh, I gotta take a bath because I'm starting to smell like every one of you."
Yeah, I'm starting to smell like you guys. Like,
and Oluwande says like the captain has a top, and I wrote down next to it like, "Oh, fucking course he does."
Yeah. And then it's like a really awkward moment between them too. It's like you can tell there's like weird tension between Jim and Olu, and like I think that's so cute. I don't know. It's just that little tiny interaction after I talked about the tub.
Yeah. And yeah, because Oluwande says like, "I can keep watch," or "I can watch," or something. Yeah, and Jim's like, "Wait," and he's like, "No, I meant keep watch, like not watch you, but like keep watch so nobody."
and then Jim just walks off.
Yeah, they're like, "Well, maybe we can just do our own thing today."
Yeah. The next scene is Roach running up, and he asks Stede like, "Are the hostages also on vacation?" And Stede's like, "No, of course not. They're not on vacation.
They don't get vacation."
Yeah. And he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, they asked to go pee in private."
Yeah.
And then it just shows the scene of like an empty
the bushes.
And so clearly like hostages just like fled.
They ran off.
They ran off. They gone.
This is the point where Nigel throws up the blood.
Oh yeah.
So I was way too early.
No, that's okay though, because it's so funny because Stede is trying to get someone to come with him to go find the hostages, and like the only one that I don't think that he really wants to go, but he's like by Stede's side is Olu, and the whole time Nigel is like taunting him.
Yeah, and he ends up kind of talking Pete into it because he's like, Blackbeard would think it would be so cool for you to do this. Yeah, he's like,
I would really like to have Blackbeard's right hand man right next to me. He's like trying to talk him up, and he's like, well, I guess if you put it that way. I suppose I'll go with.
So it's kind of like a search party to retrieve the hostages from their pee.
Yeah, exactly. And I also noted, like, not in my notes, but just like Black Pete has a lisp. It's like the only time I've ever liked a lisp. Like, I actually have like a hard time hearing that because of my misophonia. When people like lisp at all, like it's like frustrating. But I think it's because of the way that he sounds and the fact that I love him that it doesn't bother me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just wanted to.
I'm happy for you that doesn't hold you back from watching this.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. My ex used to purposefully like lisp.
No.
And like there's another thing, like sometimes I don't know, just like certain ways that people talk can like really frustrate me, and my ex would like purposefully do that to me too.
What a dick.
Yeah, he was. Anyways.
Yeah, Pete starts talking about how Blackbeard is so cruel and stuff, and like he kills men, women, and children. And Steve's like, wait, he kills children? Well, it has to be a really bad kid. He's not the bloody monster.
Yeah, but I love it. He's like, because of the way he says it, he's like, well, when Blackbeard kills man, woman, or child, he just gets on with it. It's like breathing for him.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're so much better at
No.
explaining this stuff.
No, I'm not. It's just the way he says it. Like,
yeah, you nailed it.
It's so funny. I just think I just love that. I loved that scene so much. And honestly, I just have to say that Black Pete has like the best lines so far in this episode. Like all of his lines have been like so funny. And then this is the point where Olu is like calling Black Pete out on his shit. He's like, come on, no one fucking believes that you worked with Blackbeard, man. Like, just give it up. And then they start arguing.
Bitch fighting.
Yeah. He's like, babyface. He's like, you just called me a babyface. Like, he's like they're complaining to their dad. And Stede is just like, stop fighting, you guys. Stop it. And then they're captured.
I love how there's so many references to Stede being their dad.
I know, it's so cute. The writing for the show is just so spot on. Like Stede
David Jenkins is such a fucking genius.
Yes, he is. But yeah, so then they're captured. They have like a net thrown on them by a tribe.
Yeah, and then you see Frenchie and Wee John blowing shit up.
Yeah, that's the next
and screaming like, I love vacations.
Yeah, I love it. Frenchie's just like on the beach, like rolling around, like, yay!
Yeah. And then Buttons just sits there making something out of wood.
Yeah, he's like whittling.
Chipping wood.
He's like whittling. And
for
like
some reason, Lucius sits next to him, and Buttons like, I can name 1,000 sea creatures.
Yeah. He starts going off, and then a bomb goes off, and then Lucius is like, okay, I'm out of here.
Fuck the beach.
Like, the way he gets up to, again, super gay. It's just like, all right. And then he, like, runs off.
Yeah, he screams, fuck the beach, and he's out.
Oh, yeah. Peace out, guys. Yeah, that was so funny.
Here I wrote, enter the leather daddies. Blackbeard, Sea Dog appear.
I also, this is the part where, like, Izzy's voice, man, just gets me. And every time I hear it, I always think of those fucking TikToks where they make his voice, like, really tiny.
Oh, yeah, no, I've also seen YouTube compilations of that.
Oh my god, we have to throw at least something in here.
It's really funny, but I also kind of feel really bad for him.
I don't think it's like in any kind of like mean way. I think it's just like a funny thing.
Yeah, no, I think everyone means it like in a funny way.
Yeah, but I can see how that could be like mean.
Also, I really love how he's so involved in the, especially like the Twitter Our Flag Means Death community.
Yeah.
Like he retweets all the shit and also like questionable stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He just retweets everything.
I just think he's so sweet. Honestly, like the entire cast and crew, like even crew members are such a big part of this, like with social media, and like they really do engage with the fandom.
Yeah, and they post also a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Like we'll get into later stuff, and one particular person that I follow from the crew, I won't say it yet because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But it's so cool. Anyways. Yeah, Izzy's like, what kind of idiot runs his ship in the ground?
Yeah. And what's his name again? The dude with the studs. He's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I just called him his minions, but I think his name is like Razor.
No, the other one is Ivan.
Oh, Ivan. Yeah, hold on. I'll find it. Fang.
Fang. Yes.
Yeah, Fang.
That was it.
Played by David Fane.
Yeah. David Fane.
Yeah. Perfect.
Next moment you see Jim writing in their diary.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't know. I think it's a diary.
Yeah, I think it's a diary. That tracks though, because back then, like, a lot of people had diaries and a lot of people would just like keep notes from their days and stuff, which is, I think, like amazing. And they're explaining their situation and like how they're trapped in the ship or on the ship.
They're trapped in disguise because they're wanted.
Yeah, for a crime, and they're in a prison of their own making.
But everything is in Spanish.
Yeah, everything is
cool.
Oh my god, I love it. And then when Jim like kills the cockroach on the ground, I was like,
I thought it was a fly.
No, it's a cockroach, I think.
Oh, okay.
I just put down, I'm in love with Jim again. So at this point, I think it's like 4 times already. And then Jim's like, fuck it, and goes out to sea and takes a bath naked. And it's my fave. I'm like, get it, Jim.
Of course it is.
I was like, yeah, take that disguise off.
Yeah. And then we jump back to
Izzy and his leather gang.
No, we jump back to Buttons.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Saberfish, Loch Ness monster.
No, keep going. I love it.
And then the leather daddies arrive. And he's like, you're not go study. But I love how he's still just reciting all the sea creatures that he knows. But he throws in the Loch Ness monster.
I know, Nessie, man. You can't not mention Nessie.
Oh, little fun fact here. It's around 1933 or something that the Loch Ness monster was really beginning to get acknowledged.
Yeah.
So
do you believe in it?
In 1717, they would have no chance to have heard of that. But I thought it was really fun that they throw that in. I don't know. I'm neutral about it.
You're neutral about it? Like, I think that it's possible. Because we don't really know, like, we only know, like, maybe 5% of what's in the ocean.
Oh, man, the ocean is so fucking scary.
It is. Like, I think, like, dark water is, like, one of my biggest fears.
Same.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because I love pirates, but I fucking hate the ocean.
Listen, I would 100% love to go on a pirate ship or go on, like, a cruise. Like, I want to do that, but I also am terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Anyway.
know that the Queen Anne's Revenge, like the ship of Blackbeard, is somewhere in your area? Like, not your area, but like in around the Americas. It's somewhere where you can just visit it.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And I'm
Okay.
like, oh, I want to go there so bad, but
I
it's
want to
so
go
far
there.
away.
I'll go and take. No, it's not the same. You need to come visit, and then we can go together.
Yeah, we should do that.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
I love it. I love that pirates is a special interest for you.
I'm just, does not everyone want to know where it's anchored? It's
I
in
would.
Atlantic Beach, North Carolina.
Whoa, North Carolina. That sounds like
is
not
that
a
far
great
away
place
or
to go.
no?
Well, yeah, but also like, yay that it's there.
Yay that it's there. It's so cool. I really want to visit, and we should post a picture of it. Wait.
Oh my gosh, yes, we should.
I'm sending you a picture right now because I want to know your reaction.
Holy shit.
That's so cool, right? It's like three decks or something. It's fucking awesome.
You guys can't see this, but my mouth is literally just like dropped open.
It's on the ground.
I am having a cartoon moment where my mouth is just like as far open as it could possibly be. You guys need to see this boat. It is the most gothic fucking Victorian looking shit I've ever seen in my life.
Take Pirates of the Caribbean, the fourth one. Blackbeard ship is kind of reminiscent of the Blackbeard ship in that movie.
It's so fucking cool.
Pirates flags used to be red a lot just because that sent a message of them showing like, if we cross path, we show no mercy.
Oh my god, that's awful, but so cool.
But so cool, yeah.
Oh man, that's just so cool. You know what that reminds me of? This is probably a tangent and it should probably be in our other podcast, but
go ahead.
Okay, there's this series that I read by Terry Goodkind, and he has these things that are like dominatrixes, but they're called Mordsith. Basically, a Mordsith will wear an all leather outfit, like tight red leather. So that way when they are training their pet or whatever, you don't see blood. But after they're broken and trained, they wear all white. Like showing like we have them completely trained. We don't have to hurt them at all. Like we can just wear white. Anyway, so that's what that reminded me of.
Or does it say like, I'm very trained and I know what I'm doing, so there will be no blood here on my stuff. Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. It's like hella badass. Nice. Like I'm not trying to say that like I condone, but like I kind of condone.
You kind of do.
Yeah, it's so hot. Like, come on, that is hot, right?
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
It's really hot. I don't know. I have a weird brain. Anyways,
no, I'm with you.
Tangent over.
It's cool.
Wait, where were we even in the episode?
Oh shit, I forgot I was going on and on about fun.
No, I love it.
I have another fun fact, but I will just keep it for later.
Oh, you can tell us now. Why not? While we're already on the...
Let's do it on the end of the episode, because then it will make more sense.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, Stede and Pete are in prison.
Yeah, they're in a cage.
Yeah, they're in a cage. And they ask where the host... Yeah. And this native dude walks up to them and they ask where the hostages are. And Stede's like, they smell a little like stale urine. As if that would help him find them. The guy points and Stede thinks he's pointing at food cooking over fire, so he's in panic. He's like, "Oh no, you savages!" And
then he's
the
like,
dude is like,
"Fucking
"No, over
racist."
there." And then the camera shows the hostages in another cage, but one of them is holding up a middle finger, and the other one
Another
waves.
one is waving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too.
It's just so funny because the hostages are just like neutral. They're not like mean or good or anything.
Yeah, exactly. I fucking love that. And it kind of reminded me of this song by the Front Bottoms called Peace Sign Middle Finger.
Oh, nice.
Anyways.
I only know Twin Size Mattress of them, I think.
Oh my god, that's a good song.
I see here.
I love you.
I'm making out. I can hear you guys on the couch. Shut up. Make out to something already. I'm waiting.
You're so cute. Oh my god.
Is that also the one where they sing oh damn, what's it again? Where he's like swimming in a lake, but the only thing he can hear is the Jaws theme song.
I think so. I'd have to look up the lyrics, but yeah, like there's so many good references in that.
Yeah.
That band is so good. Guys, look it up. The Front Bottoms. They're amazing. I actually don't think is it called There goes my phone.
It's the Front Bottoms, yeah.
Yeah, no, but that one song,
I don't know which song I was singing just now, but that was not Twin Size Mattress.
Oh shit.
The Twin Size Mattress is the one like, this is for the lake that me and my friends swimming.
Oh, that's a different one.
Should have felt it, but I can hear the Jaws theme song on repeat on the back of my mind.
Yeah, I love. They're so good. Like Andrew.
Make sure to kiss your knuckles before you punch me in the face.
Yeah. The one Twin Size Mattress. Oh my god, this became a Front Bottoms podcast.
Sidetracked and stuff.
No, you know what? They are such a good fucking band, okay? They're a talkie band.
It's really fun to sing along to them. Like,
yeah.
Normally they're too mellow for me, but I love to sing along to them sometimes.
Yeah. Hold on, there's this one.
For you guys that don't know, I love heavy stuff.
Yep.
Shit like Korn, Impending Doom, Shadow of Intent. I'm going to see Shadow of Intent next year.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, this chorus. She hopes I'm cursed forever to sleep on a twin-size mattress in somebody's attic or basement my whole life. Never graduating up a size to add another. And my nightmares will have nightmares every night.
Oh, every night.
Every night.
Every night.
Every night. All right, okay. Back to the show.
We're back.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oluwande walks into the screen and he turns out to be good friends, or at least good acquaintances, with the native dude who keeps them sort of in a cage.
Yeah, he's just chilling. I have it here. I said
he's just chilling, yeah, with a pina colada.
Yeah. So the reason why this scene is so interesting to me,
if you like
is
pina coladas
and getting lost in the rain. The reason why this scene made me laugh so hard is because Stede suggests or thinks that he's going to be eaten by the tribe.
Yeah.
And then the warrior dude is like, fucking racist. Like, he says something like that. And then all of a sudden, Oluwande comes up with a drink, just happy.
Yeah. He's like, hey!
Like,
and I have the
fuck
secret
you, white
handshake.
people. Yeah, exactly. And then he's just chilling with a drink, the pina colada. Like, I just have it here. I said, they don't like white people. And that's 100% valid. Because he's like, why? What did we do? And he's like, because you guys keep fucking killing us. Like,
yeah. He said that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why should we trust you? You keep killing us.
Yeah, he's like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah.
And then they find out that there's going to be a trial. And he's like, oh, it's just a formality, right? And the
no,
warrior's
it's not
like,
a formality.
No, man,
No.
These guys suck. We're going to kill them. That's what's going to happen. And then the next scene is
Lucius just walking around, but then he finds Jim's disguise.
Yeah, he sees it on a rock, like the nose, the beard, and then
yeah, it's laid out really nicely.
Yeah, it's like perfectly laid out, and like that's another thing. I'm like, if I was in disguise, I personally probably wouldn't like let my nose be hanging out, you know, my beard, whatever.
Maybe put it under your shirt or something.
Yeah, but I for the sake of the scene, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he sees Jim swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, and Jim looks at him and Lucius tries to hide behind the rock. Like he goes
like,
down real
down.
fast. Like
he's like, oh shit,
you didn't see me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jim, they're like, fuck, and then they swim over, and
we switch a lot through scenes because now it's actually the trial time.
Yeah, I was actually I have it here. I'm like scene 11, scene 10, scene
nice.
12. Like,
wow,
they're like,
you kept track.
I tried to. I'm getting better at these note things. I was like, how do I fucking know which scene is which?
Oh yeah.
So I just put the scene numbers in there.
Wow.
So that helped. Wow.
You cracked the code. Wow.
I did. Wow. Okay, so the trial.
Yeah.
This is an intense scene because this scene kind of shows like the guilt that Stede has coming to a head. Because the chief is like, well, who here has killed someone recently? And the hostages are like, this asshole, this man.
He killed our
here.
captain.
He killed our captain. He's a madman.
And then Stede's like, well, they're the colonizers. We are just pirates.
Yeah, exactly.
And mediocre pirates at that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see Nigel and like all of the scenes of Nigel being murdered and like things that Nigel's saying to him like as a ghost. And then he's like, you've ruined my head.
Look at my head, baby Bonnet. You ruined my head.
And I had
I probably had children, maybe even several. They'll never see Papa again.
I love that you put that in there.
I wrote the whole thing down. It's so funny.
I didn't put it down. I just had, nah, you look better, to be honest. Like without the
shit.
eye. And then Stede just like breaks and he's like, I'm a murderer. I'm a filthy murderer.
Yeah. And they're all sitting like, what?
Yeah.
Only one day he's talking to the chief.
Yeah. And he's telling him the truth about what happened.
He said something like he struck someone with a paperweight. Gravity did the rest.
Yeah. And then you see Black Pete in the background and he's like,
called it.
And he's like, no, you didn't.
Call it. Yeah.
He's like, well, I said it in my head. And he's like, but that's like, that defeats the purpose. Yeah, of calling it. Like, you can't do that. And then as Pete's walking down, you see Stede with like the shaman
camera pans to the therapy session.
The therapy session with him and like the medicine. I don't know what they would call it, medicine man or a shaman or whatever.
I just called him an elder in my notes.
Oh, maybe that's probably better. The elder.
Yeah.
The elder kind of suggests that like the guilt is coming from a different place. And then it cuts to like him leaving his kids. And like you realize that a lot of the guilt is also coming from like him leaving his family.
Yeah.
And then the chief comes up and he tells him, he's like, good news, we've decided you're not a threat to our people, only to yourselves because you're mediocre pirates. No offense. And then Olu's like, no, you're right.
Yeah. That was so funny.
Yeah, it was a good one. I don't know if you had that in your notes.
I just had your mediocre pirates in the hopes I would remember, but you said it well.
Okay, cool. And then the chief tells him that he sold the hostages off to like some guy.
Yes, it is like, well, can we have the hostages back? And he's like, no, we sold them.
He's like, sorry, bye.
Yeah. And then we pan back to Lucius and Jim. And Lucius just yelling in the wind.
Sorry, I just wanted to say before that happens, you see the ghost of Nigel taunting Stede again, saying that like, because he's like, oh, we got to get him back. And he's like, you're not going to be able to do it. You can't do this. Like, you're not good enough. And then Stede this is like a moment for Stede where he realizes that he can. And like, he's like, I'm not going to let this shit like beat me down. And he's like, I am adequate. And I'm like, I say that to myself all the time now. Like, that's like
nice.
that I have kept to myself, like, because I struggle with like confidence a lot. And so just seeing that scene the first time I saw it, it really like resonated. So I always say that to myself now. Like, I quit.
That's so lovely.
Yeah. Anyways.
What the show is all good for.
Yeah, exactly. The show is like funny, wholesome. That's why we love it. Yeah. Okay. Next scene.
Lucius is screaming, it's important you know how much I didn't see. And that's just such an iconic quote.
Like, I saw nothing. You could just see how much he's panicking because Jim is a badass and they all know it.
Yeah, exactly. Lucius is being incredibly dramatic when Jim is throwing him on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, please, are you gonna kill me? Jim's like, absolutely.
Yeah, just like the knife in hand.
With the knife
in hand, like trying to like murder him, and Lucius is like holding their hand up, like, please no.
He's like, no.
He's
like, no, look,
I'm
incredible at keeping secrets. My mom thought I'd liked girls for years. I butchered that so hard, but
No, you didn't. It's good.
Oh, Jim says, "Oh yeah, the best secret keepers are corpses."
Yeah, that was an iconic thing. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's such a cool comeback.
Yeah, it is. And then Lucius keeps talking, trying to like...
Yeah, he says something about beards, but I didn't understand that.
Oh, because a beard... Okay, so when people are trying to keep themselves from other people knowing, they have a beard. They have like a fake relationship.
If they're gay, they have a girlfriend, and that's the beard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what that meant. Like, it was almost like I have a disguise of my own. And so what he's saying is like true, but he's also at the same time like reaching for a stick, and then he grabs the stick and hits Jim over the head, and Jim's like, "Are you fucking dead?" And I was like, I'm so in love with Jim.
I already thought like you probably did a note again over there.
Yeah, I was like, Jim is mad. Jim is very mad. I am in love with Jim.
I'm in love with Jim, yeah.
All right, this is where my like notes get real messy.
Psycho killer. Guess you say,
say,
I wanna fuck Jim. I was making lyrics for you.
I was like, yeah, I know this song.
But I was kind of like tweaking it to fit you.
I love Psycho Killer. Psycho Killer. Guess say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to fuck Jim. Let's be real.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh man. All right. Sorry, Jim. I'm in love with you. Anyways, scene 14. Izzy and his leather minions have the hostages, and you see them walking through the island. And this is where like Stede kind of has his brave moment. Here is where my notes get kind of like messy. I just have I have Stede, and then whatever goes on, and then the hostage that says, he's like, oh, I forget what Stede says. You go.
Oh yeah, I have that here, but there's some bits before that that I noted as well.
Yeah, please.
They're standing in the bushes and Stede's like, I have a plan, or we have to have a plan, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oluwande and Pete are just kind of looking at him, and he's just doing nothing. And they're like, eventually like, okay, what's the plan? So Stede has his eyes closed and then making a gesture like, a diversion. Like all dramatic. He jumps in front of Izzy and he's like, I believe we have dibs on those men.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Izzy's like, what?
Yeah, and he's like,
don't trifle me. You're trifling me. I'm warning you.
There will be no trifling here.
I'm not to trifle with.
He's like, I took the eye of one man. I'll do it again. And then the hostage is like, he will. He goes,
believe him. He's quite insane.
He's like, he does
have eyes for a madman. Sorry, you do.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the notes I had.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I didn't know that you had those notes.
No, it's good. I'm glad that you got them because I literally, my notes at this point are just awful.
I also love how Izzy just kind of like shows off his moves by...
Oh yeah, that's an amazing part.
Yeah, he got Stede's blouse with his sword with suspicious precision.
Yeah, he's like, all you see is like Izzy with his sword, and then all of a sudden you just see like
his blouse is gone.
It's like all cut up.
Yeah,
but his chest is bare and it's fine. And he forget what Stede says though. He says something.
I didn't write that down.
Oh, it's okay. But like Stede is like impressed. He's like, wow.
Yeah, he is. He's like, wow,
wow. We're so annoying.
And then suddenly you hear the voice of someone saying like, this is the ghost of the forest.
Which is Olu.
One of them says like, that's obviously one of your men. Stede says like, no it isn't. And Izzy's like, it is. And Stede's like, it isn't. And it goes on for a while.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, how do you know? And he's like, well, this is not a forest. This is an island.
Yeah, this is a fucking island, mate. It's not a forest.
I love when you do the accents. It's great.
I just don't want to be annoying to people.
No, I love it.
It's fun to do the accents.
It is.
Then I wrote down, Stede just fucking won the fight with Izzy.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? How did you do that?
Yeah, exactly. And then my favorite is like when they walk away with the walk away. They run away like pansies. Run, quick. And they run away.
But they have one hostage and the Izzy crew has the other hostage. to kind of have like a middle ground.
Yeah, well, Stede's like, entire crew is in these bushes,
Yeah.
and if
you're completely surrounded.
You're completely, like, obviously a lie. Then they run off like pansies, and Izzy's like, pirates my ass.
Yeah.
The next scene is they finally, like, with the help of the tribe, they get their ship back into the sea.
Yeah.
And then the elder is talking to Olu, or no, he's talking to Stede.
Yeah.
He's like, you're more gentleman than pirate. That kind of hits
Which
Stede.
is where the idea
comes,
is born.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Stede walks off, and then the elder is talking to
Olu one day.
Yeah,
and he's like, you sure that you don't want to stay? He's gonna get you all killed.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I have here. He's like, yeah, you guys are gonna die if you stick with this dude. And Olu's like, well, I can't. I got a mate on the ship, and then
I kind of got someone.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh,
you're in love. He's like, no, he's just a mate. He's just a mate.
It's just my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I also wrote here, the tribe elder accepts queer relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oluwande gives the elder a box. Like they
he like
each other a box.
Yeah, he's like, peace, dude.
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. And then the next scene is Stede, and he's on the ship.
Sunset gets out, having a lovely moment, letting his ghost go.
Yeah, like I said, Steve leaves Nigel butt crack on the beach. And then he decides, because of what the elder says, he's like, why can't someone be both a gentleman and a pirate? And then he's like,
gentleman pirate.
That has a good ring to it.
Yeah.
It's such a good
That's
scene.
So lovely.
Yeah.
And then Lucius gets kidnapped by
Jim.
Jim.
I was like, because the scenes are so like, they're like boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really like intertwined.
Yeah. And then the last scene is,
no, wait, he's like, no, please, I have this whole thing with my back. And then Jim just drags Lucius off into the shadows.
Yeah. It's a very menacing scene.
Very dark. And then you see Izzy with Fang and
Ivan
on the ship, and he's like, why does Captain want to see him?
Yeah, why does he want to meet this ponce?
Yeah, and he's like, how should I know? The man is half insane.
Yeah, I love that scene.
I also wrote down that it's kind of crazy how Blackbeard already got hard eyes for Stede before they actually even met.
No, he does though, and
he wants to meet him so bad.
Yeah, the funny thing is, he wants to meet Stede, and Stede is like obsessed with the idea of him. So it's like they already have like these preconceived notions.
They're both obsessed with each other already.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so like at that point, like you know something's gonna happen between them. You have an inkling, but you don't know. You don't know like how queer this is gonna be.
Well, when I first watched it, I just missed so much. But when I rewatch things, I just notice the details all the more and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what makes rewatching so much more fun, because you just notice more things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't know if they're going to be like just good buddies, if they're going to get in a fight. Like, you have no idea, but you have this like inkling.
You know that something's going to happen.
Yeah, you know something's going to happen, and you know it's going to be big. And at this point, the camera pans up, and it's like this really like...
you hear this dramatic sound coming.
And the music like builds and builds and builds, and then you see Blackbeard's flag. And you're
flag.
Yeah. It's super awesome.
You're like, oh shit!
Yeah, and then they end the show, and it's epic, and you're just like, holy
it's so
shit!
Epic. Like, the outro song is so amazing.
It's so good. I was thinking that. I noted it. I was like, the music is fucking fire.
Yeah. Also, did you notice that Blackbeard ship is actually just the Revenge, but in a punk makeover?
I didn't know that. No, that's awesome.
It's probably just because they have one ship in their studio. So they just gave it a makeover.
I was gonna say not anymore. They probably have so much funding now for the show.
No,
because you have to imagine like how much money they had just going into the pilot, like what the funding was just for what they had. You know, I feel like this show has got, I hope that they've got like more funding for more epic scenes, because they did such a fucking awesome job on this show.
But it's so cool to notice those little things though, because you don't really, when you watch it the first time, you don't really notice that.
Oh yeah,
it's just the same ship, but then
more
just punked up. Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, I didn't know that it was the same ship, but it makes sense. Like, I've thought a lot about what it would take to like make a show and like how to get things ready and like what kind of equipment you need and that kind of thing. But it totally makes sense because they probably didn't have the funds to like build an entirely new set or have a new ship or,
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
just
mean?
for one scene.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see the ship anymore after this, so why should they?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all right, well, I think you do. I think you see it.
Well, you see the inside.
You
You
see the
see the
inside.
captain's cabin.
Yeah. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
No worries.
Next episode. Stay tuned.
Yeah, no, the next one, yeah. This is the perfect moment for my last little fun fact that I was alluding to.
Yeah.
The Blackbeard's flag that we see now is sort of known to be Blackbeard's flag.
Yeah.
It's very, very unlikely that this is the flag that he sailed under. Most likely he either had normal like red flag or a black flag with a skull on it. Like very simple.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I wanna like we should look that up.
I already did, honey. No worries.
You're like, bitch, I'm already there. It's done. Did you not know this? I was like, did you not know this was a special interest of mine? I thought we talked about this.
So many hints have been dropped.
But okay, so like, what was your favorite scene in this episode?
Probably the one where I want you to know how much I didn't see.
It's important for you to know.
I'm very good at keeping secrets.
Oh, I love luscious Lucius moments, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Maybe also the moment where Buttons mentions the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think my favorite moment had to have been. There's a couple, but I think the most notable one is just like how much Buttons really wanted to eat Lucius. Like all of that was hilarious to me. Like just the whole like, yes, absolutely necessary when it's absolutely necessary. Like he just kept saying it like
yep, absolutely necessary.
Yeah, he's like trying to convince himself like I don't need to eat this boy, but then like
he's
like eyeing him later.
Oh, I also love that Olimanda is just having like a pina colada.
Oh yeah, that was such a good moment. Like it touches on racism without like really going into it. You know what I mean? Like it's good for shows to show those things, but they did it in a way that was like funny but honest, you know?
I think they do everything in a funny but honest way.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's another thing that just like is so awesome about this show is just like how
they touch on things so well.
Yeah,
I mean we can't really talk on the racism part, but
no. So I think my gymtastic moment was Jim pouncing on Lucius and like pouncing on Lucius.
Ghosts don't tell secrets.
Yeah. And then just like I don't know, they just look so hot. I also really liked when Jim like threw their knife and it hit the roach. Like I don't know, so hot. I just think so in love with Jim.
I just kind of love the whole scene where Jim's just writing in their journal and
and it's in Spanish.
Yeah,
like that was so cool too. I love
very
when
poetic as well.
Yeah, it really was. I loved seeing that and like hearing it because when Jim speaks in Spanish, it's very pretty.
Something like that.
I don't know. This episode
it's
was
very
really jam packed. Yeah, and this one was
jam packed.
Yeah. Oh, and also the vacations. Every moment with the vacations.
I love vacations.
The bombs going off. Yay!
I love vacations. That was my favorite part.
All right. I think we about did this episode. What do you think?
Yeah, we did.
We did it.
Check mark.
Second episode.
We did it. Hell yeah.
I almost had to stop myself from watching the third episode, like right after. I was like, shit, we gotta go. I gotta go podcast.
I love how we are going more into Blackbeard in the next episode.
I know. That's like, I feel like this episode was like a setup episode. You know, the pilot was like a standalone. It was a standalone with a lead-in. This episode was like, it was definitely like the setup for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and then introduction to Blackbeard with the leather daddies.
Oh man,
I know I keep saying it, but it's just so funny.
So true. And
I also saw like a Tumblr post a while back where the wardrobe people from the show were like, okay, how can we make these people look as gay as possible? And just have them be outfitted in entire like leather, and people are just like, nah, they're not gay, and then the wardrobe people are just like, oh, where did we go wrong?
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny. You have to post that if you find it.
Oh yeah, I should. Oh man, we should start posting on this. When we're recording this right now, we don't have anything posted yet.
Oh shit, I need to get on there.
We should go and back it with memes and with our drawings, because me and River, we actually made some drawings of the show.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, I did. I made one.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot I made one. Yeah.
Didn't you
it's
make
a cute
two
one.
though?
No, I made one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a very cute one with the T, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Spoiler
Anyways,
alert.
spoiler alert.
It's a full T.
Yeah, let us know if you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Let us know what your favorite moments of this episode was, and if you have a favorite character right now. Obviously, everybody knows that I am obsessed with Jim.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with all of them. Yeah. Jim is just so hot.
When you were saying it, I was thinking, like, do I have a favorite? But I just love them all.
I love them all. Like, even the Swede.
This cast is so lovable. It's crazy.
Yeah, Buttons, the Swede, Wee John, Frenchie, Roach, all of them are just so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Blackbeard as well.
I know.
Okay, he might be my favorite character.
I think he is. I think he's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, true.
Alrighty.
Well,
All right. Thank you
so much for...
Yeah! Thank you for listening.
We appreciated you listening to our episode.
You!
You, volgende keer bij ons. Nice.
Well, for everyone that doesn't know what that means, because I realized the last time, it means next time at ours.
Yeah, basically like bye.
See you later.
Next time at our place.
Yeah, but it's at our place every time. Just come hang out with us.
Exactly. I was thinking about it. Like it's always at mine and at yours.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to sign off, right?
And also, it will let you, the listener, also know that it's the next time. It will also be at our Spotify.
Yes, come hang out with us. We love it. We love to see it.
Multifunctional ending.
We're keeping it, guys. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. You, volgende keer bij ons.